Solving rational equations. If we're going to work with rational equations, we need to be able to solve them. And here's how we do it. First thing we're going to do is eliminate all the denominators. We're going to do this a lot in calculus. So we're just going to look at all the denominators and find the common denominator. So 1, x plus 2, 1, and 1. So the common denominator is going to be x plus 2. So we're going to take every term and multiply it by x plus 2. So the x gets multiplied by x plus 2. 6 over x plus 2 gets multiplied by x plus 2. Minus 5 multiplied by x plus 2. And 0 multiplied by x plus 2. Next thing, reduce where possible. The whole point of multiplying by the common denominator is we should have eliminated every fraction. That's a lot easier. I just multiplied 0 by x plus 2 and wrote down 0. At this point, let's expand these brackets. So x squared and 2x minus 5x minus 10. And then collect your like terms. We'll have minus 3x and minus 4. So there's our minus 3x and minus 4 and the x squared. And now I think we can factor that one, and we'll solve the equation. So that factors into x minus 4 and x plus 1. We'll double check. There's a minus 4x plus 1x, so there's our minus 3x. What would x equal from there? 4 and negative 1. And one last step on these. We're always going to check for any restrictions. When we were at the very top, was there anything that x could not equal? So we're looking at our denominators. The common denominator was x plus 2, so that would mean that x cannot equal negative 2. That has no impact on these answers, so this is our solution with a reminder that x cannot equal negative 2. Let's try another one. Step 1 is always identify the common denominator. So we have a denominator of 2x plus 5, a denominator of 1, and a denominator of 4x plus 10. And we don't really want to make the denominator that we're multiplying by all that big. So be aware that 4x plus 10 can be factored. So if we factor 4x plus 10, there's a common factor of 2 multiplied by x plus 5. So 2x plus 5. So 2x plus 5 is already part of this denominator. So if we make 2 times 2x plus 5 the common denominator, what does that do for us? First term gets multiplied by 2, 2x plus 5. Second one by 2, 2x plus 5. Third one by 2, 2x plus 5. We can eliminate the 2 and the 2x plus 5. And what can we do with the 4x plus 10? 4x plus 10 is the same as 2 times 2x plus 5. So we've eliminated all the denominators again. So when you're doing this, make sure the common denominator you multiply by is as small as possible. That will save you a fair bit of work. So we've reduced those. What are we left with? 2x times 2 times 2x plus 5, and 8x plus 15. So let's expand. You might find it easier to think of that as 4x. So that's really 4x getting multiplied by 2x and then by 5. So 8x squared and 20x. And now let's collect our like terms. We have 8x squared. What's our x situation? 22 on this side, 8 on the other. And then we'll bring the 15 over as well. Why did we bring the 15 over? So that we could have a quadratic that equals 0, and then we'll factor. Luckily, we're very good at factoring these days. So let's solve that one. Multiplying to 8x squared is 4x and 2x. Multiplying to 15, 3 and 5. Double check that that gives you the middle term. I've got 20x and 6x. That will give us a plus 14 if that's positive and that's negative, so it looks good. And what can x equal? x could equal 4/3 from here, or -5/2 from that one. Any restrictions? What was that common denominator? It was 2 times 2x plus 5. Is there anything that x cannot equal? What would make that equal 0? I think -5/2. Oh, wait a minute. That was one of our answers. That's not good. So that is no longer a possible answer because it is a restriction. So although mathematically it appeared to be an answer, it is not. It is a restriction instead, so we only get one answer. So that's why it's incredibly important to check for your restrictions. Let's try another one. First step, common denominator. Okay, we've got an x plus 2, an x minus 2, and an x squared minus 4. I hope you recognize that x squared minus 4 can be factored into x plus 2x minus 2. So what is the common denominator? What would eliminate absolutely all the denominators in one step? And I hope you recognize that this would eliminate all of them. So we multiply everything by the same term. That's the only way to keep the equation in balance. Okay, let's see what we can reduce. I can get rid of an x plus 2 here, get rid of an x minus 2 there, and get rid of an x squared minus 4, because that's equal to x plus 2 times x minus 2. Again, all the denominators gone in one step, and no unnecessary multiplication because you keep this common denominator as small as possible. What are we left with? X minus 2 times x minus 2, x times x plus 2, and the 5x plus 1. Okay, let's expand this. X minus 2 times x minus 2. Use the box if you have to. We'll see what we'll get. I'm getting x squared minus 2x minus another 2x plus 4. And then we'll multiply the x in as well. So there's our x squared minus 4x plus 4 and x squared plus 2x. All right, collect any like terms. How many x squareds do we have? 2 of those. How many x's? I have -2. It looks like -7. And then what do our number terms look like? Perfect. Okay, time to factor. What multiplies to 2x squared? What multiplies to 3? And can you make the middle term appear? Let's check this factoring. I've got -x, -6x. There's our -7. What could x equal? A half for that one and 3 for the other one. And restrictions. Can it equal plus or minus 2? Does that have any impact on these answers? No. Okay. Your job today, there's a lot of questions. You need to get very good at this skill. It's important to be able to look at a question like this and make it much simpler by multiplying by common denominators and just eliminating fractions in one step. So get yourselves lots of practice. Enjoy yourselves. This should be a good day.